Welcome to Landria on YouTube, here to help you break through those fears and live an awesome life. We're done with negativity. If you got a bunch of comments that are just really not contributing in a positive way, we're all moving past that, okay? So welcome to the new earth, where we focus on all that is positive, that is going to help others, which is you, and in turn yourself, where the world understands that we are here in a classroom and we are here to learn and to pull ourselves out of those lower frequencies. This is a big job and you chose it. Beautiful. Congratulations. Wonderful. Because guess what? The beauty of this whole journey is to really be a part of this massive, powerful movement that's about more than just you, the individual. I want you to understand that's how powerful you are. You aren't some little energy over here, some person. You are the power of the universe, all connected, reconnecting to itself, recognizing itself. That's all you're doing right now. Get busy, because we're going to talk today about 3 steps. 3 steps, so within 60 seconds, you can keep shifting yourself. So I had the 3-second manifestation, which is just switching that thought. That pops you out of the negative, and if you keep doing that, you're popping into more positive thought, visualizing positive things, It pulls you away from that negativity, because quantum physics shows us that focus manifests things into the material world, our own personal reality. So what I focus on appears for me, and it's real. It's real for me. So we don't have to understand how different, frequencies and dimensions and all that work. All we have to know is we are controlling it. You are. So we're going to have 3 steps, and within 60 seconds, I want to take you from not only shifting over to that new focus, but starting to get to the root so that you start to really change the beliefs behind it. All right, so the first thing is catching yourself. This is where being present is super important. Number 1, boom, I catch myself, switch over. That's your 3-second readjustment to focusing on a higher frequency, seeing the house, seeing the happy family, seeing the happy relationship, seeing people forgiving each other. Joy, abundance, seeing the money coming in, not focusing on the money, seeing the life that you deserve, that somehow you haven't believed is part of who you are. So that's it. Thing you must choose in advance to know, what is it? You guys, asking me, can I have a bunch of things? If you haven't manifested one of those things, why would you have a bunch of things? Start with the most important one. Because what happens is when you go into that open, abundant, higher frequency, all those other things will start to show up anyways. So pick the most important one to you. Now the thing is that when we pick something, and a lot of people are struggling with the fact that it's not coming in. First of all, when we're so focused on the material world, we're still on a lower frequency, and this is where it becomes an issue. When you're focused on just getting that thing, you're believing that the thing will make you happy, and it will not. It does not hold that power. You hold all the power for everything, including how you feel. And when you know this, you then become in touch with your manifesting capabilities. You actually know, wait a minute, it's not that thing. That thing has no power. That money, that job has no power, because so many people get those things and, as we know, are miserable. It happens frequently, by the way. We know this if you've ever been in that position. Why is that? Because that thing holds no power. Only you, how you feel and think about it, and what your intentions are behind it. All right, so the first thing, switch over to that new thought. Envision yourself in that situation. Don't worry about, right now we're not going to worry about, whether it's good or bad or whatever. If this is what you desire, let's switch over to that thing you desire, that you believe would be really lovely to have in your life. All right, so the second thing I want you to do is ask yourself why you believed, why you were focused on that negative thing in the first place. This is going to take you about 60 seconds to run through this. This is something you can do whenever. When you have a chance, ask yourself, why am I thinking that negative thought? I don't know about you, but there's usually no good reason. Usually no good reason. I will tell you one of the reasons why, and probably the main, it's probably the only reason. The ego is a lower frequency. The ego only thinks of itself, what it gets, and it will criticize others to make itself feel superior. It will battle for things, believing that there is lack. It will see the world negatively because it's on the lower frequency, so everything's a threat to it. And it believes, because it's on a lower frequency, believes the negative things out there, the conspiracy theories, believes all that stuff, and thus creates that. So when the darker and deeper you go into that ego, the ego sees everything as a threat, and that's fear. That's why my whole channel is based on breaking through fear, not ending it. It's always going to be out there on some level till we progress back to the one. When you break through it, you say, why am I thinking this? If you don't have a good reason, then say, that's my ego talking. And I should have brought Hacker T Dog out. By the way, Hacker T represents all of our egos. Somebody says, why is it a guy? Dear Lord, stop being a psychiatrist. There's no reason. Let's call it a girl. And then somebody say, why is it a girl? Hacker T Dog is I'll bring my puppet out next time, is a frequency that is always about itself. And that frequency does not open up to the abundance that manifests on the highest level. Highest level is always joyful goodness. So when you get the money, it's positive. Other people benefit from it. There's abundance and other things come from it that you didn't even expect. Surprises, wonderful stuff. So you don't want to manifest on this lower level. That's why people get money and then they're unhappy. They're manifesting on a low frequency. You can manifest down there. It's not going to be good. So you want to manifest on a higher frequency. We're here to raise our frequency. So this first thing is, why am I thinking this? Don't spend a lot of time. You got 60 seconds to do this. I want to get you off of it, not focusing on the why, the negativity. Now, if it is, the answer could be, my parents programmed me that way. I've never believed that I was this. Whatever you come up with. I don't know, I'm just society. I'm exposing myself to all this negativity. I'm starting to believe it. So you have a few seconds. If you don't come up with a good reason, that's fine. Just know that that's even probably crazier, right? For us not even have a reason to be thinking those negative thoughts. There's always a reason, and it is the ego. But you may not know the root of it. Okay, so second thing, why am I thinking this? Third thing, then we switch over. You got a lot of time. 60 seconds is a long time. You're going to switch over to the third thing. What is the belief behind the abundant manifestation? So you had the negative thought, you switch over to the positive one. You go back here and you look, you're just examining it quickly because we don't want to manifest anything. Why am I thinking that? There's something negative that I'm believing to keep me over here. And then you switch over to the new belief. What's the new belief that connects to this positive thing versus the old belief that's connecting to the negative one? You are now completely becoming a new person, a new energy, a new fact. You are now a new energy when you go over here. You raised your frequency. That is a fact. We're just energy. This is science. I just watched a 4-hour video on this, on science, and it's mind-blowing that you are actually changing everything now, because now your circumstances and everything from that moment forward will be different than when you were the person believing this and focused on this. All right? Negative thought, boom, we come over here. All right, why was I thinking that? What was that belief? If you can come up with a belief, that would be great. Because then you can switch over and say, what's the belief here that manifests this? That was the belief manifesting that, ooh, I really don't believe that. Because if you continue, the reason I'm bringing you into the 3 steps now is because if you keep gravitating toward that belief, this is going to keep showing up. Right? You're over here, and this is missing. This belief over here is missing. You're going to go, boom, 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 boom. You're going to go in this triangle. Not a pyramid, triangle. The Bermuda Triangle. Things just appear in there. Weird stuff happens. So here's what you want to do. You want to go over here and connect to this. And when you start to believe this belief, I am worthy, I hold unlimited powers. All of these things are not real. That's programming. I know that I, as an individual, wield the power of the universe just like everybody else. We're all connected to the same energy. I get to manifest whatever I want. Oh my gosh, everything counts. Every thought, everything is counting. And then this keeps showing up because you're no longer in that negative space that brings this thought back up here. I know some of you are going to really get this. All right? So I'm taking you a little further than the 3 seconds because a lot of you are going back down here and this is showing up again. When you abandon this, this dissolves. It's off in space somewhere. This energy cannot be created or destroyed. But when you go to the higher frequency, it's not even in your space. You're here and this manifests. I believe this, this manifests. I believe this, this manifests. You cannot question this. Don't question it. When you question it, no faith, you're over here again. 1 minute to totally changing your reality. 1 minute to manifesting on the highest level. How is that? You are now in the highest possible belief. And when you are there, nothing that shows up even touches you because you don't believe it. I see stuff out there, I'm like, it has no effect on me because, and people, well, what about this? And they're all in there, I'm going, I don't believe any of it. I can't even listen to it. I'm not even in that space. So people say, how are you doing this? Is because I believe beyond the shadow of doubt, total faith, beyond the shadow of a doubt, that I'm absolutely controlling my reality 100% because I am the power of the universe. And that there is something so beautiful beyond our imagination that we are of, and that we're experiencing that right here, and that I am in control. And I will see things show up that I know are coming from down here, and I go, why is that showing up? There's an ego-based thought in there somewhere that is still a residual that shows up. But when you're not reacting to it anymore, you're still back in this belief, and this starts to show up. But when you see the residual of it, you just let it float by like a cloud. All right, there it is. I don't have to believe it or grasp it, but it does show up once in a while. Why? We've been programmed, man. It is not tough. I mean, it's not, I like that. It's not tough. It's not always easy to get out of that. But yeah, actually, you know what it is? It's easy. It's easy to get out of it. You can switch anytime you want. I know a lot of you find it difficult, but I'll tell you what, it can be easy. If you believe this. If you think it's difficult, you'll believe this. See, I'm sorry. I can't believe that came out of my mouth. We as humans find it difficult, but you as a person can find it easy. I find it easy. I recognize it. I go, boom. I don't believe that. I believe this. Wow, that's interesting. That's the ego having a control. It's usually a control situation. It may even be positive, still wanting to control a situation because we want things to be a certain way. And when you release it, that's total faith is you're releasing it because you know it's always going to turn out beautiful. And that anything that shows up is not a negative. I just did a video on everything is for you, for your good. It always is. And you will possibly argue with me on that, and I won't believe it. I believe everything's good and positive, and that when we work through it, it goes away. We clear it out, and then when you stand here and say, no, it shouldn't be this way, this is a bad world, blah, 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 and it shouldn't be this way, and I shouldn't be sick, but you are sick, and you're focused on that, you'll stay over here. When you go over here and say, ooh, that showed up, this showed up, I don't have to believe that anymore. And then you have total faith that I know that's here, but there's something very positive and beautiful. What can I find in that? And then your belief is that this exists right now and that you need to do what you need to do to connect to it. It will show up. Maybe my lesson is to clear some things out, some residual negative energy, lower frequency energy, in order for me to have this show up. So you're still believing that the world is beautiful, that these lessons are for the betterment of you and the collective consciousness, and you work through it because your belief is total faith that this is all positive and good, and that you are going to benefit, and you will then contribute to the collective higher consciousness, and then all things manifest and bloom, and it's gorgeous, and you are whole, perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Give yourself 60 seconds. And I want you to time yourself. When you catch yourself, you'll probably, I know you guys are going to go, it took me 30 seconds. It takes me about, I'd say, 30 seconds. Because sometimes I have to catch what that is. And it's always a control thing. I want to have that knowing how things are going to work out, and I got to let it go. Even something that simple is still a frequency that's not believing and is okay and letting go. Faith. Abundance to you, my friend. 30 seconds, try it. But let's go with the 60-second switch over highest manifesting capabilities. Let's do it. That's you working through getting the beliefs and staying over here and not going into the triangle. The Bermuda Triangle. Ooh. Namaste.